Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dan and this is the video you should watch before you read Chapter 3. So the big theme of Chapter 3 is Chesapeake Bay and the first British settlement in North America, which is Jamestown, 1607. Probably should remember the date, not that important. It's named after King James. What you do need to know was that this adventure and this settlement, this was like a bad camping trip. I mean, the weather's bad, the water's rancid, there's mosquitoes all over the place, malaria gets spread, a lot of people get sick, a lot of them die, and there's nothing to eat. Other than that, it was really a great time. But no, seriously, the Chesapeake Bay area is over by near where Maryland, South Washington, D.C., in Virginia, where that's all at today. So I think you know where that's at. And it's the first settlement, and it's important to understand it's the first permanent settlement by the English, and it's really the reason I'm speaking in English now instead of French or in Spanish. So the colony really suffered. It was hard to get started. They needed to depend on the Native Americans to help with food. That didn't always go well, but that's the way it played out. The other important thing there is the economics of the colony. So there was a guy named John Rolfe, and he's the one who brought a strain of tobacco, or discovered a strain of tobacco that would grow in that climate. And once tobacco farming started, then things heated up. So this is in the early 1600s. In other words, if you know anything about business or economics, if you want to make money, you have to have something to sell, and tobacco was the first cash crop. The other thing notable about Jamestown, which you'll read in this chapter, is you're going to start to read about slavery. So Jamestown starts in 1607, and I think around 1619, the first load of slaves are introduced to Jamestown and began to be servants alongside of indentured servants from England to raise tobacco. So we're going to talk a lot about slavery in that whole ugly chapter, but also those are the kind of the key points to Chapter 3. So read through Chapter 3, understand the roots of slavery, and then also you're going to read about settlements up north. So Jamestown comes first, and you know, that's in the southern climates where you can grow tobacco, and then the northern settlements of Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay come a little bit later. So 1609, 1623, between 1610 and 1625, right in there. That's where Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay are settled, and that's where the Puritans come in. So really, the southern settlement of Jamestown was all about agriculture and you know, selling tobacco for money, and all about exploitation of natural resources. But up north, the Plymouth colony, the Massachusetts Bay, that's where the Puritans were at. So when you hear about the Puritans moving away from England for religious freedom, we're talking about the people up north, the Puritans up north, and so that's an interesting read as well. But Massachusetts Bay Colony, Jamestown Colony, those are the first two British outposts in North America. They're important to our roots, and it's an interesting read. So if you have any questions, let me know. Keep up the great work and have a safe week. Thanks. Bye-bye.